Donald Trump is rattled.
Donald Trump's speech in Atlanta, Georgia was a total disaster.
He's upset.
There was an entire section that was fairly empty. Donald Trump blamed the school.
School administration stopped us from getting another 500, 600, even 1,000 people in.
He's mad.
Kamala, she was here a week ago, lots of empty seats.
Not enough people want to go to his rallies anymore. They want to go to Kamala Harris's. Enjoy the rallies while they last, Donald, because pretty soon you're not going to have any.
Learn more at psychopac.org.
I wanted to open this video with that ad from George Conway's Anti-Psychopath PAC because I think it does a great job at showing why Kamala Harris is getting under Donald Trump's skin so much. It's because she's not just beating him and surging in the polls right now, raising historic sums of money, but she's beating him at the things he cares about most. Her rallies have more people. They have more enthusiasm. In every poll that we see, Kamala Harris is taking 5 to 10% of Republican support, pulling MAGA away from Trump, and it's driving him crazy. And because it's driving him crazy, he's resorted to the most off-putting and strange personal attacks against Kamala Harris that are really just blowing up in his face. Everything he says makes voters uncomfortable, especially when he makes these strange attacks against Kamala Harris. And he decided to try out a new attack last night on Truth Social that has blown up in his face. It immediately backfired. And he took the Truth Social, like I said last night, so angry, so upset, typing away with his tiny little fingers, and he tried out a new attack on Kamala Harris that we just have to look at because it is so bad. Donald Trump wrote, "Kama Blah has stated over and over again that she wants to defund the police and without question ban fracking. No more fossil fuel. This will quadruple the cost of energy in America. Depression, anyone?" So Donald Trump has tried out mispronouncing Kamala Harris's name before, and that didn't go too well. It was just a strange attack that even his loving crowd, even the MAGA cult, kind of looked side to side, confused, and fell quiet when he did it because, again, it's a strange attack. But the new answer that Donald Trump has to campaigning against Kamala Harris, apparently, his new attack on her is to spell her name wrong, to call her Kama Blah. It's not even remotely good. It's just bad. And at this point, Donald Trump has lost it so much that I'm not sure if he's like actively misspelling it or he's doing it accidentally just because he doesn't know how to type. And like I said, those tiny little angry fingers, they must have hit the wrong key. That's a possibility. We're leaving all doors open for Donald Trump to do something ridiculous because that's clearly all he does. But again, he's so mad at Kamala Harris that these are the attacks that he's trying to make on her. And when he attacks her for saying that she won't defend the police, that she wants to defund the police, in fact, it's funny because it brings up some old stuff about Donald Trump. Well, really not that old, but I guess a couple of years. Do we remember January 6th and the violent mob that Donald Trump sent to attack Capitol police officers? In what way was that protecting the police, Donald? In what way was that backing the blue? Well, that exact question was asked of Republican Byron Donalds by George Stephanopoulos, and he just couldn't answer, completely frazzled and unable to defend Trump, and I want to check that out.
Trump also said at the convention that he would pardon January 6 rioters who assaulted police officers. Do you support that?
Actually, what he said is that he was going to review every single case. He even repeated that again in Chicago at the NABJ. Listen, what we do understand is that the Department of Justice under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they did massively push up charges on people who protested at the Capitol and some who rioted at the Capitol on January 6th. So what he's talking about is doing a case-by-case review. You can lump it all together all you want, but those are the words of Donald J. Trump. I'm quite sure on the internet people can pull up that clips. They can watch it at their own leisure.
I'll read it to you right now. This was Rachel Scott's question. My question is on those rioters who assaulted officers. Would you pardon those people? Oh, absolutely, I would. That's his words.
Yes, but you did not leave in was the rest of his comments where he said, yeah, I would, but we want to look at everything on a case-by-case basis. That's what will happen, George.
No, that's not what he said. He said if they were innocent, I would pardon them. They've all been convicted. He said he would pardon those who assaulted police officers. Do you support that or not?
George, you just changed the soundbite. You just changed it. Now you added, if they're innocent, then I will pardon them. Let's go back to the record of January 6th. Again, not something that matters.
I didn't change the soundbite. That's exactly what he said. They've been convicted.
George, the first thing you said was, yes, I'll pardon them. Then you expanded.
And he said that.
Say, if they are innocent, then yes, I will. That's what you said, George. Now I'm responding. Okay. So what he's saying is that, yeah, I will go and look at these cases. If they're innocent, yes, I will. Of course, if somebody was beating up a police officer at January 6th, he's not going to do that. But if you had people who were just walking through the Capitol, which did occur on January 6th, because the security protocols had changed because of that riot at the Capitol, then what he would do is not allow them to be held in jail with these massively increased charges by the current U.S. attorney in D.C. under the Biden-Harris administration. Compare that to the fact that at the rally that the riots that just occurred at Union Station when Bibi Netanyahu was speaking to Congress, you had the same U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia who decided to just let people go and not file any charges, even though they were defacing monuments at Union Square. So we want to be fair with the justice system. We don't want to be political with the justice system.
My question is on those rioters who assaulted officers. Would you pardon those people? Donald Trump. Oh, absolutely, I would. You wouldn't pardon those? If they were innocent, I would pardon them. That is the entire quote. They are not innocent. They are convicted. He said he would pardon them.
Donald Trump's personal attacks on Kamala Harris don't land. Him trying to say that she turned black recently to win some identity politics war doesn't make any sense. And it's offensive and it's weird, which of course the Republicans are and always have been. They're just weird. But not only do his attacks on her personally fail, his policy attacks fail. We saw there Byron Donalds being called out for Trump's comment saying that he would pardon already convicted January 6th insurrectionists. So when Donald Trump tries to talk policy or hit Kamala Harris on her record, he only reminds us of his failed record. He wants to say that an unsecure border is the fault of Kamala Harris, but it only reminds everyone that he blew up the bipartisan border deal. She wants to say that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have destroyed the economy, which isn't true, but it's only a reminder that he had historic job loss during his presidency. Donald Trump wants to say that Kamala Harris is soft on crime, but it only reminds us that he is a convicted felon who sent a violent mob to attack Capitol police officers. Donald Trump really can't talk about anything in this campaign. He has no attack on Kamala Harris. He has a terrible record that he can't defend. And so it only actually excites him more. Because he is behind, because he is losing so badly, he feels like he has to go on attack mode. Chris Christie talked about this. He said, when Donald Trump feels like he's up, he feels like he can relax a little bit, right? He feels like he doesn't have to do as much. Not that he really does anything besides watch TV and sit his ass on his golf course all day. But when Donald Trump is behind like he is now, Chris Christie said that he feels like he has to win back his base. And so he's using all of these ridiculous tactics and personal attacks that only resonate with the MAGA cult because they're in a cult. And it's putting off huge swaths of voters. And I invite you, Donald Trump, keep doing it. Kamala Harris has dealt with attacks from terrible people like Donald Trump her entire life. She can handle it. But who won't be able to handle it is Donald Trump, because he'll keep losing voters. It is this vicious cycle for Donald Trump that will repeat over and over and over again until November when he loses. And I can't wait to see it. It's just so beautiful to watch the implosion of Donald Trump's campaign. And if you're enjoying it as well and you want to continue to see Donald Trump fall apart, we're going to be covering it on this show. Make sure, if you haven't already, that you hit that subscribe button, you join what we are building on this channel, and leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And if you want to add a little extra layer of support, you can become a member of this show by hitting the join button. You can click the join button, become a monthly supporter of the show. It really goes a long way. And I'm going to be doing bonus content there every week, exciting stuff for our members. And y'all really mean a lot to me, and I appreciate your support. And until next time, I'll see you soon.